Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Journaling for Spiritual Growth, 6 weeks to build a habit that fosters spiritual and emotional maturity by Marc Alan Schelske, narrated by Tom Parks. Publisher's Note: in this audio edition, you will hear references to Appendix 6, which is present in the print and ebook formats of the book. Introduction to the second edition. When Whitaker House approached me about possibly republishing Journaling for Spiritual Growth, I was shocked. I had self-published the first edition in 2022, and a publisher rarely considers a book that is already on the market. However, Christine Whitaker, the publisher, and her team thought this book was something special, which I deeply appreciate because I agree. I've been a pastor for nearly 30 years. I'm a child of the church, born and bred. I'm also a big reader. So I know how rare it is to find a book about the spiritual life that is on your side, that invites you with gentle hospitality and offers help without speaking as the final authority. In the past 10 years, I have had a conversion of sorts. I was taught, both by osmosis growing up in the church and through my formal education as a pastor, that it was my job to speak with the voice of authority. It was my job to use all the tools of persuasion, manipulation, to get people to cross the line of faith and press after God. But as my theology and practice evolved, I began to suspect the tools I'd been given were no longer aligned with what I believed about God. Not only were they designed for a culture that no longer exists, but I began to see they were tools that counteracted my growing understanding of the gospel. I've come to hold that love is the decisive attribute of God. This divine love, expressed in the life and teachings of Jesus, I refer to as other-centered, co-suffering love. Above all, this kind of love does not coerce. If I am to mature in the image of Christ, then the methods and tools I use should reflect this view of love. Among other things, that meant setting down the tools of authority and trying something different. What would it be like for spiritual writing to be other-centered and co-suffering? Journaling for Spiritual Growth was my first attempt at writing from a posture of hospitality and solidarity. I tried to set aside the tools of persuasion, pressure, and fear. I wanted to write from a posture of trust. Trust that you are here for your own good reasons, that if we can spend some time together, you will take what you need, and that we can both trust the work of the Spirit in your life. I hope that comes across in this book. The second edition includes several changes. The team at Whitaker House has given the book a new round of light editing and a fresh layout. I've updated all the reference material in the appendices, added new resources, and validated all the web link references. I've also added this brief introduction and a new appendix essay entitled Silence for the Children of Noise. This essay addresses some of the reasons why learning to sit in silence seems to be the most challenging part of what I teach here, and hopefully proposes a helpful way forward. Because the original introduction is more of a tutorial on how to use this book, I've left it largely unchanged. I dedicate this second edition to those of you who have identified your desire for a deeper spirituality and perhaps even a more intimate sense of connection to God. May this book be a welcome and kind companion for you. Marc Alan Schelske, December 2024. How to use this book. This is not a book for listening. Not really. It's a guide for doing. You can listen to it right through, but there is a better way. Let me tell you a bit of what this book is about and how I might be able to help you through this book. I'll assume you picked this out because you believe there is such a thing as spiritual growth. I expect you desire a healthier inner life and a more profound experience of God. You believe or hope this is possible. I've spent almost 30 years helping people with these very things. It's not uncommon for me to find myself on
Sample complete. Ready to continue?